my name is Jolynn Santiago. I am part of the 2019-2020 Artists in Residence. Welcome to the show. I am originally from Ohio. I received my undergraduate degree from Kent State University and my MFA from SUNY New Paltz in New York. Shortly after I graduated from my MFA program, I started the Arrowmont residency, and I thought it would give me a good opportunity to expand on my graduate work. There's a lot of interesting and cool things I think that have developed in my work, and I've liked the freedom I've had to just make, regardless if it's jewelry or, I've just kind of let myself do or follow whatever impulse that, as far as creative impulse. Because I've had a lot of time in the studio, I started thinking about, actually this here began as a way to set up a scene for a photograph that I had someone take for a piece. And I really enjoyed the result and the process and was starting to think of it as actually a way of printing. And this is just really only the second time I've done anything like this, and I feel as though there's a lot of opportunity to expand. And this time I've actually incorporated some drawing and some mark making within it, and I've used the pieces to push the dust around and to create some different imagery so that it is less flat. But a lot of this has to do with the absence of things, or things that surround us, and thinking about just seeing what's left behind and how that affects us emotionally, and how it reflects time. At the end of my graduate program, I started making dust out of silver, sterling silver. I wanted to expand upon that idea when I came to Arrowmont. Because of the support of the residency and giving me this space that is really critical, and this time that's really critical, I was able to concentrate and focus on developing that body of work. And these are 5 rings that I created actually when I first arrived at the residency. The dust comes from, basically it started with this idea of me wanting to make dust precious. And this here is all made out of sterling silver and sintered together and then forged to make it strong. Sometimes I do make some that are not forged and they shed, so they're less structurally sound, and eventually will crumble. The idea behind that is, I think, very beautiful, the ephemerality of it, and it ties back into the piece with the dust. The dust that I was utilizing for the print is actually paper. That is a way of documenting for me. I see this as a way of documenting time. So that tying back into paper, we use paper as a way to document, using a really fine paper powder to develop what we see as dust. So this is a series that I created, started and finished at Arrowmont. File, pause, sort. Being here at Arrowmont, I feel that the environment has really intensified the meditative aspect of my practice. Also, with the shelving, this is a new thing or a new aspect of my work that I'm utilizing. And I did some research through the woodshop technician here and one of the residents that is a chair maker. And I used their knowledge and then some research of my own to find the most light sensitive wood that I could incorporate into my work. And so the wood for me just isn't the display for the work. I do like these natural aspects of it and the coloring, but it's also a way to capture a print of the pieces when they're resting on the wood. So right now too, it's basically, it will be here for the duration of the exhibition. And once I remove these necklaces or the tape drawing that's on the shelf, the wood will be lighter in this area and the wood around this will tan. It can be intensified over time if I'd like to, but I like the idea of it capturing the time within the exhibition. This is another piece that I developed. It's really the result of a very intense experience I had here at Arrowmont. So I decided that I was going to file in my studio for 24 hours. I basically informed the residents and my friends here on campus that, you know, they could check on me through the window, make sure I'm okay, but for the most part, it was, I'd file for as long as I could take it, get up, stretch, and I was fasting during that time as well. And it was really just a way of capturing this really intense moment in a piece. And I didn't have an idea for the piece starting out. Oftentimes I don't necessarily have a design. Really, what develops is through sitting with the work and understanding and getting to know the work through time. So I filed this rod for 24 hours, and the file marks are still left on the rod. I formed it into a ring, and then this here is one of the 56 grams that I collected in that 24 hours. And so this is the rod, and these are part of its remains that are hanging from. And I also created 3 rings from that same series. And it's all dust I collected within 24 hours. So.